Hey, hey. Okay, sorry, I'm editing things if anybody's here early. Good, nobody is. End stream. Okay, okay, okay. Get you a link. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, hey. Check, check. Check, hey. All right. Check, hey. Hello, studio mood. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Man, which one of these things is what it actually is? That's the question. I think it's you. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Hey, if you're on the stream, just say hey in the comment section. If you're a YouTube user, that way I know who's here. Hey, people. Hey, 3 people who are 3 minutes early. Too excited. Me too. I've been thinking about you, Matt. I'm going to play that Stuck in the Middle with you tomorrow. Just for you. Love you, buddy. This is like the longest 5 minutes of my life. I need to stop showing up early for things. Oh, T-minus 30 seconds. I'm going to edit all of this out. It's going to be a tight 1 hour deal when all of this is done. Alright, I got 1 like and I haven't even done anything yet except destroy the link that I sent you all and make a new one. All right. Hey, thanks for finding me here, guys. Sorry, I was testing a new way of doing the live stream, and in so doing, I destroyed the link that I gave everybody. So I'm glad that you guys are computer literate and that you're here with me. That's amazing. Um, I'm gonna just wait maybe another minute to let maybe some folks find this. I'm hoping that it's not too much of a challenge. Kind of scooch this over. There we go. Um, yeah, so I won't get into it too much. But yeah, hey, if you're on the live stream and you don't mind just shooting a comment in the comment section, it's always nice to know who's hanging out. Um, and then I can give you a shout out and say, hey, just because it's goofy, I'm singing to a computer screen, a light, and a rack of clothing right now. Um, so it's good to at least have names, if not faces. Um, so tonight is the You Choose the Record night, and gave you guys some time. Nettie wants me to be beautiful. Love you too, anime. Nettie, I'm glad you're here as well. Um, so tonight, yeah, it was the You Choose, and we had a couple rounds of voting on largely Instagram, but a little bit of Facebook as well, and y'all chose Death, which I thought was oddly appropriate given the current circumstances. But there is something to be said about understanding and feeling one's mortality and coming to grips with the fact that, um, you know, it ends the same way for all of us in this thing. Um, I'm trying to think. So we're going through, like I said, Death in As Many Faces. This is the album. So the backstory on this, and I've kind of alluded to it many times in live shows. If you've come and I've talked about kind of this weird transitional time between deciding to leave Chicago and move up to Milwaukee. Uh, Things kind of weren't really working out in Chicago. We were running out of money, places to live. But I was working on a record with the Broken Bones, Zach Pietrini and the Broken Bones, and we did some of it in Chicago, but we did the majority of it down in Nashville. My friend Gordon Persha, he helped engineer and produce it with me. I produced it as well. And then Chad, I don't remember his last name. He was one of the engineers as well. But we were at a studio. It was Q Studios. It's changed names since then. Apparently, Patty Griffin and another member of the band Alabama co-owned it at the time. I don't know who owns it now. But we went down there and we recorded this record. And when I finished it, basically, or did most of the tracking anyway, was when we decided we were going to move to Wisconsin. So I basically had this record finished and nothing to do with it. So we finished this album, and a few people in Chicago had heard a bunch of these tunes, but almost nobody, yeah, Gordy, almost nobody in Wisconsin actually ended up being aware that this album even really existed. We would play a song off of it here and there, but never. This album never had like a release show or an official release. It just kind of was. So I'm really glad actually that this one won, because I have been itching to play some of these songs for a while. Anyway, this album was a 9-song peer into the many facets of death, both physical death, the actual time of dying, but also things that we die to, things that we mourn, ways that we change. So I'll probably get into that each song. Feel free to like ask questions as we go. I mean, the plan is to just kind of plow through the album as it is. So again, if you are so inclined to pay what you want, and you want, I can absolutely send you a digital download of this album for free. So just let me know in the comment section if you want the album, and you got it. Nice. Good to see you, Jim. Jay, thanks for jumping on, man. From the north of the Cheddar Curtain, yes, and it is thick. All right, so without further ado, this is Death in As Many Faces, cover to cover. So the album kicks off with the song One More Soul. This song is about facing down demons, things within yourself that you know you have to kill, that you have to part ways with no matter what, even if it means that it takes you in the process. So this is One More Soul. I got reason to believe you're hearing it from me. Yeah, there's no way you're leaving here tonight. I got trouble in my veins, a fistful of disdain, and there's no way you leave without a fight. I'm gonna dig that ditch till my knuckles bleed and smile as the dirt covers my misdeeds. Headlights herald your body in. I just hope I don't have to bury you again. Oh, the fire's gonna burn us alive. Either way, it's alright as we watch each other die and fight, consumed in the light. Oh, hell is glowing bright. I guess one more soul tonight. Well, yeah, one more soul tonight. Point the gun and squeeze. Shells hit the ground as you fall to your knees. The bar clears out. I can't help but smile. I sit down and think, light up a cigarette and finish my drink, 'cause there's no way I'm getting out alive. Oh, I'm gonna board up the windows and bar the doors, shoot till I'm empty and give 'em some more. Night lit up, I might come in, and I just hope I don't have to bury you again. Oh, the fire's gonna burn us alive. Either way, it's alright as we watch each other die and fight, consumed in the light. Oh, hell is glowing bright. I guess one more soul tonight. Oh yeah, one more soul tonight. Gonna burn us alive. Either way, it's alright as we watch each other die and fight, consumed in the light. Oh, hell is glowing bright. I guess one more soul tonight. Oh yeah, one more soul tonight. Whew. Does it sound okay out there, guys? I think we got it pretty close. I don't want it to be like peeking or crunching on you guys. All right. Okay, so that was One More Soul. The next track on here is Conversation. So this tune was actually on the first record that I ever made. It is about the breaking of a relationship. People realizing that love in their life is dead. Yes. What do we got? Doesn't sound peeking out. Great. Fantastic. You should see all the gear. It's hilarious. It's like you can see this one mic right here, but then there's just cables and cords, and I pulled out a whole soundboard because I love you guys. Sweet. So anyway, I did this song Conversation on my first record, and it was much more, I guess, like organic sounding. There's a violin, it's an upright bass and drums, so it's pretty minimal. But on Death, the whole album is kind of just like a beefy version of a bunch of different kind of like folk genres was also what I was trying to do a lot on this record. Each song was supposed to represent its own little sketch and its own little person and kind of rest in a genre. And this one kind of had a nice little Western feel to it. But anyway, so without further ado, this is Conversation. One, two, three, go. Once I asked him, is he worth it all? Trading your answers now for alcohol and the feel of flesh and blood that wasn't my mother's. And he said, son, it's not that I no longer love you, mother, but I miss the years before we happened to each other. Love is broke, you should know. Then he said he had to go. You finished feeling and it began to show. 'Cause years passed with no words or signs of your return. Just spaces and rooms filled with silence from you. No regret in your voice, kind words of praise for the wife that you abandoned, or the son you left for her to raise. Your words come slurred from a payphone, the side of the road. Your hands, they're shaking, and it ain't from the cold. Oh, what shame can do, oh, how pride it can bind. Remember the letter you wrote, the kitchen table you left for me to find. It said you had to go. You finished feeling and it began to show. 'Cause years passed with no words or signs of your return. Just spaces and rooms filled with silence from you. No regret in your voice, the kind words of praise for the wife that you abandoned, or the son you left for her to raise. 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 All right. So that was Conversation. Well, during this period of life, while I was writing this record, or at least some of it, my grandpa was dying. We were kind of processing a lot of that grief. I was processing a lot of that grief. And one of the things that struck me about losing him was how unfair the entire experience felt. I mean, just the idea of losing somebody in death, but even in the way he died of ALS, and it was just a really difficult thing for me to process through. It was the first person in my life who I cared for deeply, that I was, I think, in a space to even understand fully what was going on. And oh, thanks, guys. Mike Nowak, I'll tell your son about mustaches later, or you can tell him. Anyway, so processing through the grief of my grandpa, he ended up getting kind of 2 songs on this record. They're both back to back here, but I remember actually writing this song just sitting in my apartment, and was actually playing this song on a mandolin. I'm kind of just like feeling my feelings and strumming chords, as I usually do when I write songs. And on a mandolin, you play an A minor in a very goofy way, and so I transferred that over to a guitar, and it just sounds very eerie and creepy, and thought what better way to have what better chord to use in a song about how unfair and hard death is than that. So anyway, this next song is called Son's Death and Their Orphan Daughters, and it is about 2 children who lose their dad is taken from them. He's unjustly tried and killed, or whatever you want to call it. And they find out that he didn't do it and was innocent the whole time. And so the song is about the body being exhumed from the robber's grave, and or the thief's grave, or the killer's grave, and his family reburying him. Again, trying to do a lot on this record, but I was listening to a lot of murder ballads at the time as well. So anyway, this is Son's Death and Their Orphan Daughters. And just a reminder, y'all, if you want a digital copy of this record, just let me know, and I would love to send you one for free for just being on, and if you can throw some dollars my way, that's amazing. But yeah, thank you guys. All right, sorry. Son's Death and Their Orphan Daughters. Come on. When they cut you out of the frozen ground, the townsfolk gathered round, torches bright to light what they had found, while your little girls still hoping that one day you'd return. A criminal's death, roll burns still red around your neck. You don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll fight. Little Mary, just close your eyes. You don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll fight. Little Mary, just close your eyes. There's a chance you won't sleep tonight, 'cause you don't wanna see what's inside. The first son of a farming man, hands steady and strong, strung up but without a doubt. Judge got it all wrong, while your little girls, they walk around the streets at night and start to ask themselves if God is really alive, 'cause you don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll find. Little marriage, close your eyes. Here, go on, put your hand in mine. You don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll find. Little marriage, close your eyes. Here, go on, put your hand in mine. 'Cause you don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll find. Little marriage, close your eyes. There's a chance you won't sleep tonight. 'Cause you don't wanna see what's inside. You don't wanna see what they'll find. You'll see him one more time, and by and by. All right. So the next song, again, I did this last live stream, but this next one is called My Immigrant Heart, and I wrote this again just before my grandpa had passed, and again, it's just a way of processing through some of the feelings I was having with his passing. My grandpa was, his wife, my grandma, she died pretty early. He was in his 50s, and so he ended up being a really big part of my life. He was just there a lot, in and around. He lived, 10, 15 minutes away, was our primary babysitter. It was like having a second dad, and so when he passed, it was just, it was a very difficult thing for me. But this song was processing kind of death as a river, death as a body of water, and the long immigration from one shore to the next in his passing. Again, I had mentioned last week, or whenever that was that I did that live stream, his whole life, as long as I knew him, he was content to be with us for sure, but like always made it very well known that he missed his wife. He was excited for the day that he would get to see her again, and so that's what this song's about. This is My Immigrant Heart. Months on a boat to years spent alone. Your eyes, my only hope. Picture your face, remember your name, but often forget my place. You wait for me and sing me back to sleep when I get home. You sigh and stare out the window till I get there. Way up for me, Josephine. The years are in between. Remember and come so confusing. Wait up for me, Josephine. An ocean in between. The colors run and start bleeding. To my throat, the chilling gold down in this rusty hole. The creases and folds in the letter you wrote. Tell of the hurt you hold. You wait for me and sing me back to sleep when I get home. You sigh and stare out the window till I get there. Wait up for me, Josephine. The years are in between, remembering comes so confusing. Wait up for me, Josephine. An ocean in between, colors run and start bleeding. And if you're right, I'll be on the other side. And if you're right, well, it's only time. And if you're right, I'll be on the other side. And if you're right, well, it's only time. Josephine, the years are in between, remembering comes so confusing. Wait up for me, Josephine. An ocean in between, colors run and start bleeding. Mike, I will take 5% credit in your daughter's name, if you'll allow me that. Thanks, Uncle Bud. I actually wish I could hear you singing along. All right, so this next tune. What up, Rob? Thanks for jumping on. This next tune is Love is War. There's a few lines in here that, oh, thanks, Mark. Love you too, man. I really appreciate y'all's support. I wrote this next song, Love is War. I don't remember if there was a specific event or if it was just kind of this general feeling. I was early, mid-20s maybe, probably mid-20s, I think, when I wrote this. And just watching my friends navigate love and seeing how much of what our culture demands of us in it, and how it felt like there was just so much more of a war metaphor kind of under the surface of what how we talk about love, how we understand it, especially when you're talking about the breakdown of it and how people fight and demand their rights and stick to things as opposed to holding loosely, but seeing how living in an age of getting rid of reason, getting rid of religion, getting rid of all of these other things that we've often used to be, what am I trying to say? They're kind of things that give us bearings. Ditching everything, demanding my rights, only holding to my feelings, and kind of wreaking havoc in relationships. And often in that there's a lot of pain and so again, happy Friday night, y'all. You picked an album about death, so you get it. So sing along if you know it. Blood on the streets, between my teeth, in the cobblestone on the way home. You're holding tight to me, 'cause love is hell on my heart. It's a beating drum, an old war song, a mess right from the start. Set fire to the old church house. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the old church house. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Love is war. Torchlight parade, a mob with chains. Better lock your door, draw your sword. They're calling out your name, 'cause love is hell on my heart. Oh, we promenade with hand grenades and flowers to impart. Set fire to the old courthouse. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the old courthouse. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Oh, love is war. Our sides, we draw our lines, dug into trenches until death we fight. We have our cause, it is our God-given right. Oh, set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Love is war. Oh, love is war. Yeah, I was using capos. Joe, we'll do that later. All right. The next tune on Death in As Many Faces is a song called Dirt. And I remember the moment pretty clearly that I wrote this. I was just married. Ooh, that was my back. Honeymoon had ended, and we ended up meeting my family in South Carolina for an extended vacation. And I woke up late, and the entire house was empty, and it was kind of this moment of being completely still after a long period of being in just like the whirlwind of everything. Wedding. The summer that I got married was insane. I was working 2 jobs. I was finishing a record. I wasn't finishing school, but I was in school still. So I was taking like a summer school class, trying to help as much as I could with the wedding. So anyway, I was just in like an intense spiral of action for a long time. And so, honeymoon, this vacation ended up being this very stark contrast to that whole thing. And so anyway, I wake up and slept super late because I was just like crazy exhausted, and was alone in this house. And I just remember it was this very eerie feeling of totally out of place in this new spot I'd never been in, and nobody around, not knowing where anybody was. Um, and and in this moment too, kind of having time to just like reflect in total stark silence, and seeing in myself, seeing and identifying in myself that like I mean I think all humans are capable of extreme good and extreme evil. We can do awesome and terrible things, and so in this moment of kind of quiet reflection, this song is about feeling that instinct, or feeling the depth of existence that is like, oh yeah, you can be this amazing force for good or this terrible force of destruction. So this song is about a person who kills his whole family. I woke with the dawn, slid my wedding ring off. I saw you were gone, replaced by the birds singing their songs. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're lost but we're found, while your soul drifts aimless in search of a place to rest in the ground. Drifting alone in my house, I'm a ghost. My Bible face down, traces of dirt, my hands and my brow. Then the window beckons, come, sit and see what you've done. While the wee hours waned on, you crept to their rooms and buried each one. 'Cause I killed them all, my Jesus, my Savior, my Lord, my wife and my daughter and son. Each child was my hands filled in blood. My Jesus, my Savior, my Lord. All right, so that's Dirt. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if there's any like good stories about some of these other ones. So this next song, Love Worn Old, I wrote for my wife. It was directly after we got married as well. She gets a song on every album, at least one. Oh, thanks, Uncle. And anyway, so I wrote this song for her, and it was funny. During the age of the broken bones, there was a lot of musicians in and out, but there was one period where I don't think that there was one person in the band who was not either currently or recently just out of counseling for depression and anxiety. So, you know, musicians, artists, we skew that way. But I remember, I think love for me has always been, it's been a mix of extremes. And I was just like, I was taken back, I think, in marriage, during marital counseling, thinking about how much of like oneself like flourishes because another part of self dies or goes away, like when we exchange kind of that freedom for this relationship, this exclusive relationship that you're bound to. Obviously, it like a part of yourself has to die off. You have to get rid of it, and I think that does something to a human when we choose to actually go through that process. But it's not like this really nice, cushy love feeling. I feel like often it's a really intense dive into oneself, and it's a choice to get rid of that. And so this song that I wrote for my wife, it was kind of dark anyway, back to that whole thing. The band heard this song and they're like, this song's for your wife, man? I don't know. It's kind of like super depressed, huh? And, you know, everybody assumes like you get married, you have a wife, everything's great. But it's a big adjustment, as anybody will tell you. I think that those first few years, especially even later on, as you're learning how to just be fully present to another human and yourself at the same time, and just be there and love. It's not an easy thing to do, and it demands a lot of us. And so this song was about that tension in between. And I remember I showed this to another songwriter who's very accomplished, really great at what they do, and it was funny to hear their feedback, because they were like, oh no, man, like there's a line in there, I'll tame the fire to run and make it burn only for the one I love. And they were saying like, no, you know, if you're using the fire, you should talk about it like burning out of control for this person. And I was like, nah, you don't get it, man. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. This is more about that sober decision to love somebody. So anyway, this song's for my wife. It's called Love Worn Old.
Lay your weary head on my chest, and let your tired feet now find rest in the fading dim of sunsets past. Your lips, they whisper softly on my neck. You can hold me close and be safe. I will stop my wandering ways and come home. I will tame the fire to run, make it burn only for the one I love. Some twist around mine. In this black dirt town we'll bind, and we'll find what grows from a love worn old. Afraid that all the whispers are true. In the dark of the night I will leave you, each ghostly telling to prove I'm only as good a man as what I choose. At my side we will be one. You as my bride, I will become a better man. And I will tame the fire to run, make it burn only for the one I love. Twist round my head, in this black dirt town we'll bide, and we'll find what grows from a love worn old. Round my head, in this black dirt town we'll bide. This heart no longer mine, and we'll find what grows from a love worn old.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Oh, hey, Nate. Everybody, Nate Goss is on the line here. Nate played guitar on this record. He was one of the broken bones during this time, as was Phil Vickers. He played trumpet, guitar, he did some vocals, I think some auxiliary percussion, if my memory serves me correctly. Marcus Anderson and Gordon Persha also played. Gordon and Aaron Mortensen. Aaron played drums. They're in this band, Los Colones. They're out of Nashville now. They were up in Chicago before. They played on the record. They were the backing rhythm section and crushed it. They're super good, P.S., if you want to give them a look. So credit where credit's due. Also, my buddy Matt Schmidt designed this stuff. I gave him a sketch, and he made it come to life in a very dark and cool way. Sorry for all the burps, too. I ate a bag of lentils before showing up here. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other goofy stories. There was two that like kind of stick out to me during the making of this record. So I went down to Nashville with my wife and my oldest brother, Chris. And it was fun. It was just like living this crazy life of we would record all day, like start at like 10, go until like 8, and then go out for the night and go dancing. And I remember being on Broadway, going hard, dancing like with everybody. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's so friendly here. I'm like doing that thing where you like hook up arms and you spin around in circles, and people are like, no, you're just like really intense. So that was a good moment of learning a little bit about myself. But on the way back, I remember I was just like flying through the mountains in, I think, Kentucky, when we got pulled over. And I asked my brother, who's in the back seat next to my backpack, I was like, hey, get my ID out for me. And so he's rummaging around to get it. Well, the police officer assumed he was reaching for a gun, and he pulled his gun on us and was screaming and yelling, and we were all freaking out. Like, we've got our hands up. We're like, sorry, officer, we're just trying to make it easy. And then he, came down and let us go. I think he felt bad for pulling a gun out, but it was pretty intense for a moment. And I realize now that I was like, oh my gosh, that is a very intense privilege that we had, that did not go sideways. But that was a little nutty. Anyway, oh, sweet. Do I take requests? I am not, who eats a bag of lentils? I know, right? Poor musicians do. I am not taking requests right now. If we end a little early, I will. But actually, I'll use this time to say tomorrow night, same place, 7 o'clock. same place, 7 o'clock. I'm doing an all kind of requests thing, so I might take some requests there. If you have like specific requests at the end of this, type them in, and yeah, if we have some time, I'll play them if they're my songs. But yeah, the request and covers thing is going to be tomorrow night. So anyway, I got 2 more songs for you. This next one is called Waltz. Actually, Nate Goss is the one who's playing mandolin on this. Oh, Nate played banjo too. He's a stringed master. Yeah, I remember I was in a friend's basement, and this girl came over and was talking about this relationship that she had with her boyfriend, and it was about to end. And it was so interesting to hear the way that she spoke about this. And the whole thing just sounded like this bizarre mourning process that no one was willing to actually like look at, but they were both aware of. And so I was just kind of sitting there observing this very interesting relationship, and got a song out of it. So the song is about the death of a relationship.
When I said I loved you, I just spoke a few words. It's just my way. I speak out of turn. I think with my mouth and my tongue. And well, sometimes I mean it, and others I don't. But I'd buy you a ring, all of the same, just to keep you by my side. Baby, if you could just look at me right, you'd see I'm not the man you thought I was. I'm a liar and a cheater. If you don't mind me leaving, should probably just be on my way. Well, I'd take you anywhere you'd like. I'd tuck in my shirt and comb my hair right. The truth would come out like the end of the night, abrupt and cold on your front porch alone. And you tell all of your friends what a gentleman I am, how I tore out your heart and sold it for scrap, how I can expect still you would come back to me. Baby, if you could just look at me right, you'd see I'm not the man you thought I was. I'm a liar and a cheater. You don't mind me leaving, should probably just be on my way. With my heart on the table and yours on the floor, you're moving closer, keep begging for more. A kiss for goodbye, what'll it like and give as I tell you off? Baby, if you could just look at me right, you'd see I'm not the man you thought I was. I'm a liar and a cheater. You don't mind me leaving, should probably just be on my way.
Oh, Jay, sorry, dude, you did. But if you hang on, I'll play it at the very end again if you want. Just let me know if you actually want. 7 p.m. Central, yes. And 7 p.m. Central, Eastern Europe. Wow, thank you for tuning in from Eastern Europe. Yes, 7 p.m. Central Standard. Um, yes, that is a good thing to know. Mark. Oh, thanks, man. Or sorry, Matthew. Yep. Uh, it all turned out okay, Mom. Nobody died in the making of that record. Uh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. I know we still have a standing writing date that I'm excited to fulfill with you. And guys, if you don't know, too, there's a bunch of musicians and songwriters on this thread here. Jay is a Milwaukee musician. Check out his stuff. He plays around town quite a bit. He's a really good songwriter, a really good dude. One of my really great friends from my entire life. My buddy Joe of the band Badger, he's on here. Check out his stuff. They've just released a bunch of songs. We're playing around Chicago a bit. Again, I wanted to thank the very kind people at Hedwig's Hair Salon and guys for letting me take my office out of the back and move it into their space to do these live sessions from. Thank you all for jumping on. I really appreciate that. It's a big help, as you guys know. Whether it's me or any other musician, I mean, all of us, even if we weren't on tour or whatever, this is all basically backing everything up. So not only can we not play right now, it's a question as to even when we can get things started up again once the virus is kind of worked through. So, keep artists in mind for sure. But anybody else, a lot of people are out of work. So anything that you can do, especially if you just have some disposable income, a lot of people right now are going to start getting in tighter and tighter situations. So so just help where you can. If you're interested, I've been doing watercolors. Go to my Instagram. It's just Zach Pietrini. You can see I've been basically just doing whatever people ask, and it's pay what you want. So that's kind of cool. You can get a custom watercolor painting for whatever you would like to pay. Hopefully it's not like $5, but if that's your budget, I will make you a painting for $5. But yeah, if you tip on here too, you get a free copy of the digital album of Death and His Many Faces. So feel free to do that. It's just my PayPal information is at the top or in the description below. Or you can go to my website and just click on the live stream thing. So anyway, let's not get out of the moment too much here. This is the final song, guys. We did it. We got all the way through Death and His Many Faces. The last song is In the Water. And I wrote this song, so it is kind of about the idea of baptism, putting the old things behind and living a new life fresh. And I wanted this song at the end, this idea of coming up out of the water, leaving the old behind, letting the old things die and the new things come. And that's what this song is about. I wrote it around the time that I got baptized. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other death-related stories. Do you guys have any questions about this record as long as I'm here? It's super fun that I'm getting to play this finally because I've never done this record straight through. I mean, like I said, when this thing came out, it got stuck in post-production for a while. I had stopped playing music for over a year before I even started up again, and by that time I was already writing other stuff, and it kind of hurt too much to come back to this record and play. So I feel like in a lot of ways this one just kind of sat. And I actually really love this record, and so it's kind of a big bummer for me. But yeah, if you have any questions, please hit me up there. Thanks, Andrew. So without further ado, I'll play this song, and then I'll hang for a minute. And if you have any requests or whatever, just type it in the comments, and I'll play them. But again, thank you guys so much for hanging with me this Friday night. Super fun, and I'm glad I get to do this because, a bunch of dates are not happening now. So anyway, and just finally, I'm sorry. I don't want to ramble on, but I was able to pay my rent actually in just those watercolors just from y'all's generosity. Seriously, so doing these paintings, it may not seem much, $25 here or there, 30 or whatever, but some people have been really generous. Some people just pay whatever they can. But from what people have already given me from doing these things, you've covered my rent. And so I just want to let you guys know, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And all this money is going to, keeping my family afloat. So thank you. All right. In the Water.
Well, I've been waiting by the river, down on the stormy banks. Sister, take me with you, I just need to get away. And let's go on down, head itching for a halo to lay around. So if you got no objections, then I got just one demand. Let's get you in the water. Well, hell, I ain't no saint, but I do what I can. And if the Lord's still taking sinners, then I'll put up my hands. And if He asks me on the water, I hope my knees don't falter. I'll run out to Him, oh hell, if I can swim. Let's get me in the water. 'Cause I once was a killer, a notorious thief. In the depths of my soul, oh, the devil holding me, a puppet or a pawn, with his finger on the trigger of a gun. I did what I did until I set that steel down. So let's get me in the water. So if you got legs to carry you, come on down. And if your sin is a litany and the ink is running out, but the devil keep his score, you don't own those chains no more. So if you got no objections, then I got just one demand. Let's get you in the water.
All right. So that is Death and His Many Faces, cover to cover. I'm going to read these comments really quickly and hang with you guys. So if you want to hear some songs, just throw them in. I'll play for another like 10, 15 minutes or so. If you'd like to hear anything, just let me know. Otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for joining, for jumping on here. It's so nice to see some familiar names and be playing music. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. All right, so let's see, what do I got? Nate, I couldn't agree with you more about being a dad. I was saying to Kaylee, I'm 90% positive that like after all of this, somebody's gonna come out with like a really amazing all-in-one platform for producing and watching these things, and it's just gonna be like concerts on demand like all the time. It's the best way to see shows. I don't want to stand up anymore. I don't want to be in crowds. I only go to shows to support my friends and because I have to play them. Is it Nate the Bald God? No, Joe, it was not Nate. It was Chris that was in the car. It was the cop that pulled the gun. Close with Chicago? I'll give you Chicago, sure. Lame dad here trying to put kids to bed and listen. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I would love to do something like that. Nate, I don't have any pants on. Oh, man. I played a song at Justin's wedding. Rob, honestly, I don't even remember that. I'm getting to the age where there's a lot, like there's like gaps. Memory. I played a song. It was at his wedding. Oh, I don't think that was I know I played, it was like some worship song for sure. It was like a duet, and then I don't remember the other one. So let's see. We had one for Chicago, and we have one for Love is War. If there's any others, drop them in the comment section. I'm just going to go. We'll do Love is War, and then we'll do Chicago. This is for you, Jay.
Teeth in the cobblestone on the way home, you're holding tight to me, 'cause love is hell on my heart. It's a beating drum, an old war song, a mess right from the start. Set fire to the old church house. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the old church house. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Love is war. Torchlight parade, a mob with chains. Better lock your door and draw your sword. They're calling out your name, 'cause love is hell on my heart. Or we promenade with hand grenades like flowers to impart. Set fire to the old courthouse. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the old church house. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Love is war. Oh, love is war. Our sides, we draw our lines, dug into trenches until death we fight. We have our cause, it is our God-given right. Oh, oh, oh. Set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Set fire to the whole world now. It's a blaze that'll never burn out. And as long as we got our lungs, we'll shout it from the rooftop. Love is war. Oh, love is war.
All right. So if there's no more requests, I'm going to play Chicago, and then I'm going to bug out. Again, guys, I can't thank you enough. Y'all are super great, very gracious. Thank you so much for supporting me in this crazy time. Please, if there's anything that I can do for you guys, if you need some basic graphics for something, or you need help with a project or something like that, or you need a meal, please just let me know. Give me a text. If you need an encouraging phone call, hit me up. I would love to do what I can, where I can, when I can. I can't always do everything, but I can do my best to help in some small things. So anyway, I really appreciate y'all. Here is Chicago, and I hope you guys stay safe and healthy, and yeah, don't get any viruses. It's my only advice. It's not good advice. Or maybe it's really good advice. It's just, kind of basic. All right.
It's not just one place, it's the entire state. My disposition constantly reigned. The imperfections that I see, yet I like dissonant harmony. The people that don't mind, at least it seems. Then all those foolish things I bought, all the late night coffee talks, with blue-eyed girls who are constantly confused. Out to grab and hold me down, to introduce me at their house. Sorry, darling, but I have to conclude. So, Chicago, take me home, please. Enough is enough. Why spend my sympathies? I bit my tongue and took to the street. I packed my bags. Please let me leave. Well, somewhat too much makeup, others too much perfume. Mouths that sing agape when somebody leaves the room. Just keep talking in your haste, accenting what you hate. And I forget all your names with much relief, 'cause they always had a little word for me, some rehearsed, bitter, clever speech. It's true, if I had faith, then I'd believe. And all you holies and saints, point your fingers my way, 'cause I'm the sinner in the rain, saved by grace. So, Chicago, take me home, please. Enough is enough. Why spend my sympathies? I bit my tongue and took to the streets. I packed my bags. Please let me leave.
This is the part where you put your arm around the person next to you, but only if it's consensual.
Well, it's every minute detail. It's like glass under my nails, and everything you entail's all the same. I just kept clenching my teeth and struggling to breathe, but I've come home, Chicago. Finally. So, Chicago, take me home, please. Enough is enough.
Thank you guys so much. Joe, I would love to try and play the cellar. I'm going to try to do that. I haven't played it in forever. Oh, thanks, Anne Mary. Yeah, I'll do one more, Joe. I got, actually, that may be a really bad idea. So I can't recall if you ever loved me. So in the shadows they call across the bedroom. Falling in place. How about this, Joe? I will play. I'll play the cellar tomorrow during the request thing, because I cannot remember that. Oh, nice. All right, last tune here, I think. Excuse me. I'll play Gold Rush.
I liken you to a train falling off the rail, spewing smoke and dust and fire and filth from mouth to mouth. And I'm sure you find your love sitting at the end of the bar, brandy on his breath he'd lie straight through your crying eyes. I liken you to a gold mine, all the men gathering hordes, just a handful of touch, agreed that it ain't much, but they're still gonna take you home. And I'm sure they take care of you, the little desert flower. Well, the bandits come at night and like the wind steal your petals away. Ba 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 dum dum. 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 I liken you to a train falling off the rail.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks to those who donated. If you want a copy of Death in As Many Faces, I will send you a free digital copy. If you gave anything, I'll just send you one. If you don't want it, no big deal. It's just a Dropbox folder that I'll share with you. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on. And yeah, this is super fun. I might try to do this again. I'm going to do, once the whole ban on like 5 people or less is lifted, I'm going to try to do one with some more folks. We'll do like a trio in here, so it should be a lot of fun. Anyway, tomorrow night, right back here on my YouTube channel. I won't mess up the link this time, I promise. The one that's bouncing around on the internet is still a good one to click on. But yeah, subscribe to the YouTube thing. Follow me on the social stuff if you do that. But thank you guys so much for your support. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Really appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy Netflix or whatever streaming service you're about to jump onto. Or just read a book or something. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Peace.